Hey guys, welcome back, welcome to my channel. I'm Morgan, and today I'm going to be talking about every single 5-star book I read in 2023. I thought this would be a fun video so that I can give you guys some of my absolute favorite book recommendations. Yeah, so this is literally every book from January to December of 2023 that I rated a 5 stars, and I'm going to kind of like do a mini review of them all, and this will be spoiler free completely. These are just my recommendations that maybe you'll want to read in this new year. And yeah, these were just some of my favorite books, so I thought I'd share with you guys because I'm very passionate about reading. So let's just get right into it. First book that I rated a 5 stars in 2023 was actually the first book that I read in 2023, which was All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. This book was so freaking good. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say that about every single one because they're all 5 stars. I didn't really think about that. It's probably gonna get really annoying, so I'm sorry if I keep saying that, but they're all 5 stars, so they're all really freaking good, in my opinion. These are all my opinions, by the way, so if you feel differently about any of the books, that's okay. We can agree to disagree. It's okay. You might have hated some of these books, but these are just my opinions, okay? So this book was a mystery slash like thriller, suspenseful type book, which I love these types of books. Also, I like literally read this a year ago, so I pretty bad memory about some of the details, I'm sure, but a vague synopsis is, so basically this book was about a journalist who goes back to her like hometown, and she is like caring for her sick uncle. And back in her hometown a while ago, there was a murder of a girl named January Jacobs, and they were like next door neighbors, so they were like sort of friends, I think. I can't really remember, I'm sorry, I read this a while ago, but basically she goes back to her hometown, and then more things are happening, like more girls start going missing. And but the girl went missing actually in the next town over, so not in her actual town, but it's like very similar to the way that January Jacobs went missing, I'm pretty sure. So then Margot, who is helping her uncle, she wants to like get involved and try to find the girl who just went missing and possibly also solve January Jacobs' case, because I don't think it ever was solved, and she feels like maybe it's the same person that's doing it again. And yeah, so it's basically like a mystery where she's trying to figure out who did it, and it was very good. I highly recommend. That was so hard for me to explain. That just took me like 20 minutes to figure out because I like literally forget what these are about, kind of, and I don't want to give any false information. Yeah, that's my general synopsis. Definitely recommend if you like a good mystery thriller. It's very good. The next 5-star book I read in 2023 was Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Oh my gosh. Okay, this book is somewhat controversial, I feel like. I mean, I don't know. There's some stuff that happens that's like I don't really condone, but overall it was so good. Like, it was so good, and I kind of forget again what it was about, but like the relationship in this book, it's a romance, by the way. The relationship in this book was like too good. Like, seriously, too good. Like, I loved this book. Like, I ate this book up. Like, it was amazing. You need to read it if you like romance. Like, this is one of my favorites of all time. Like, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's basically about this girl who meets these 2 brothers when at like her lake house during the summer or something, or it might be they have a lake house and she went on vacation there or something. I don't know exactly the details, but they were all at this like lake house place, and they meet each other, and you can probably see where that's going. A girl, 2 brothers, stuff happens. Ugh, so cute, so cute. And I highly recommend. The next book I gave 5 stars to was 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. And this book was so cute. Again, I'm sorry, this was another like romancy book. If you've ever read any of Ellen Hildebrand's books, they like all take place basically, I feel like, in Nantucket. I don't know if they actually all do, but like all the ones I've read have taken place in Nantucket. And first of all, that's such a cute, like, it's always a cute scenery. Like, it's always a good place for the romance to take place. I love it. And this book was so cute. This book had some controversial like things that I wouldn't really usually enjoy in a book. I don't condone some of the stuff that happened in this book, but I just like I could push past it for this book for some reason. It just like the relationship. This book was about this girl he meets. It says when Mallory Blessing's son Link receives deathbed instructions from his mother to call a number in a slip of paper, he's not sure what to expect. And then some like famous guy, Jake McLeod, answers the message. And Jake's wife is the front runner in upcoming presidential election. So Link is confused how his mother knew this like famous guy. And then we see like flashbacks of how they met and all the stuff that happens in Nantucket between Jake and Mallory and all that. So it's really good. I definitely recommend. Pretty sure it goes through a bunch of different summers. Like it's like 28 summers. Like every summer they meet up the same time and you like see what happens. I don't know, but it was very cute. I'm so bad at explaining these. This is horrible. If you want to know what they're about, just look it up because I'm really bad at this. Next we have Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. Oh my gosh. This book was so good. Like, oh my gosh. So this was a like mystery thriller type suspense thing. This is one of the best I've ever read. Like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting the ending in this. Like, oh my god, this book was so good. But it's basically about a girl who goes missing and then she returns 11 years later and everyone wants to try to figure out what happened to her. You should definitely read it if you like thriller suspense type books. Okay, the next book I gave a 5 stars was I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So this was kind of like a memoir by Jeanette McCurdy, and if you don't know, Jeanette McCurdy is like Sam from iCarly, and I just think her story was so interesting, and I actually really love reading like memoir autobiography type books. I think they're very interesting, and this one was one of my favorites. Clearly I gave it 5 stars. It was very well written, it was funny, but also like very deep stuff happened. Like definitely read the trigger warnings before reading this book, but it was very good and definitely showed a lot more to like childhood acting and all the things that Jeanette McCurdy went through and everything with her life and with her mom and with the TV industry and everything. I don't know, it was really good, very eye-opening. I definitely recommend. I keep saying I definitely recommend. Obviously I recommend all of these. I need to stop saying that, but I can't stop. Next book I read was Surprise Me by Sophie Kinsella. I gave this book 5 stars, and I feel like not that many people, like I feel like this doesn't seem like a 5-star book, but for some reason I think like when I was reading this, like it was just like what I needed. Like I just really enjoyed it. It was just like a cute book, like fiction, sort of like romancy, but also like lots of other stuff going on. Like I don't know, something about it was just so good to me. Yeah, it's like a romance novel, but it's also like funny. Like I don't know, like it's kind of like about these 2 people who are feeling kind of like bored, I guess, with their marriage, I think. And then like they start like doing these little surprise things for each other to try to like, I don't know, make it more exciting. Cause like they're freaking out because they realize that they might still have another 68 years to live together, because they go to the doctor and find out they're in like really good health. So like they could have 68 years still together, and then they start freaking out and worrying like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna stay together for 68 years? Like it just sounds like so much time to stay together. And so they kind of start freaking out, and that's why they start doing the surprise things so that their lives don't start to feel boring. I don't think they're bored yet in their lives, actually. I think they just are worried that they're gonna feel bored, and so they start doing these little surprises, and then it's just like a very cute book. I don't know why, I really enjoyed it. Next book I read was Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. Okay, so you have to read When in Rome first. This is like a duology, and that's like When in Rome is the first book, this is the second book. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this was like the romance I needed after reading When in Rome, because it's about one of the other characters in that first book and then like her romance that she goes through, and she was like my favorite character in that first book. I really liked her, and so I was very happy when she got her little romance in this book. It was so cute, like so freaking adorable. I love their relationship so much, but you definitely have to read When in Rome first. I gave that book a 4 stars, but then Practice Makes Perfect, like I just loved the characters in that book, and it was so adorable. So if you like romance, you should read the series. It's very cute. Next book I gave 5 stars was The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This book was very popular, I feel like, on TikTok at one point, and I think for a good reason. I really enjoyed it. I feel like some people don't really like this book. I feel like, I don't know, like some people don't. I don't know, I just really liked it. I guess it could, like, I can see how you wouldn't maybe feel that interested by it, some people, but personally, I don't know what it was, but something about it, I think it made me feel like I had a whole new perspective on life, and it was very eye-opening and very inspirational, like very, very inspirational. Definitely read trigger warnings. It has like it's about a girl who wants to like end her life, and she's kind of in this period between life and death, which is like the Midnight Library, and then she gets to go through all these different scenarios of what her life could be like. But then if she starts to feel unhappy, she'll immediately like leave that life. And I don't know, it's just very, very inspirational. Definitely a good read. Okay, next book was Drowning by TJ Newman. This book was so good for no reason. Like, I don't know what it was. I loved this book. It's such a different type of book than what I've like usually read. It was so good. Like, so freaking good. I had such like a thrill reading it. It was so like intriguing, like, and like caught me. Just like I just needed to keep reading it. It was so good. It is like very suspenseful, action packed, and it's basically about a plane, flight 1421, and it crashes in the ocean, and you get to see how they try to like survive and get out of it alive. It was so good, so good. I don't know what it was. I don't know, like I'm not usually like, I didn't think I would like that type of book. I loved it. I loved it. I really did. So if you like action like type things, like survival, it was very good. Next book I read was Look Closer by David Ellis. I keep saying next book I read. Next book I rated at 5 stars. This book was so good as well. It was a thriller mystery, and this one really got me going. Like I was also like hooked on this book. Like some good stuff happened. I feel like there was lots of twists and turns, and it was very, very clever and very fun to read. And I definitely, like, if you like thrillery mystery, it's a really, really good one. So it's about a couple in Chicago who seem very normal, but things aren't what they seem, and the pair are far from normal. I'm reading a little synopsis. It says, the pair are far from normal, and one of them just may be a killer. When the body of a beautiful socialite is found hanging in a mansion in a nearby suburb, Simon and Vicky's secrets begin to unravel, and there's lots of stuff that happens. Lots of stuff with revenge, grudges. It's very good, and I really liked it. Oh my gosh. Now getting into my favorite series ever. A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Last year was the year that I started the ACOTAR series, and I'm so glad I did, because oh my gosh, these books are like literally life-changing and my favorite series ever. I'm not even gonna explain the books because you just have to read the whole series. It's basically just a fantasy book. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not gonna say anything even, but you just have to read the series. Like, it's so good. It's so good. The whole world of ACOTAR is phenomenal. Sarah J. Maas is like one of the best writers of all time, in my opinion. I haven't read the last one yet. I really hope to read a bunch more of her series this year. So I rated A Court of Thorns and Roses 5 stars. Then I read A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second one in the series, and I gave that 5 stars. That one's my favorite by far. It's not even by far, but like definitely my favorite. It's so good. And then I'm just gonna like jump out of order for this one, just because I'm gonna just talk about the whole series real quick. A Court of Wings and Ruin was the 3rd book, and I also gave it a 5 stars. And then A Court of Frost and Starlight is like the 3.5 book. It's like a shorter type book, but I also gave it 5 stars. So the whole series is just a 5 stars. I still have to read the last one, and I don't know, I think there might be more coming out still. I don't know, but the last one's apparently so long, so I'm gonna read it at some point this year for sure. But that whole series, you need to read it. Like, I can't say enough good things. Next book I gave 5 stars was Things I Wish I Told My Mother by Susan Patterson, Susan DeLallo, and James Patterson. This book was so cute, like so cute. And also this one's kind of like very inspirational, very eye-opening. It's about a mother and daughter who take a trip when the mother is like falling ill kind of. And so they want to go on at least like one last trip, and it just takes you on their trip and you really feel like you're there with them, like you really feel like you're there, and you get to see them build on their relationship because they kind of have like a sort of iffy like relationship, but they definitely get a lot closer on this trip. And the daughter learns so much about the mother's life and learns how the mom like isn't really who she thought she was. She's more like, there's just more to her than she thought, and it's so cute. It's so cute. The ending was amazing and very sad, but very good, and I really liked it. My mom read that book and she just absolutely loved it, so she told me I had to read it, and I'm so glad I did. It was so cute. Next book is If He Had Been With Me by Lara Nolan. I mean, this book literally destroyed me. I almost started sobbing reading this book, and I've never cried really over a book, I don't think, until like this book. I had tears in my eyes, and oh my god, this book is so good. Like, you have to read it. And it's such like a controversial, like I know a lot of people don't actually like, I know a lot of people that don't really like it, but I loved it for some reason. The romance, the relationship in this book was too good. If you like a good romance, it's kind of like a teenager romance type thing, like they're in high school. It's about this girl who, her neighbor, well actually it was her mom's friend's kid, and her mom's friend has a son, and they're like next door neighbors, and so they've always grown up together, been best friends. And then in high school and middle school, like they kind of joined separate cliques, and then like, I don't know, it kind of takes you on their whole high school adventures, all the struggles that come with it. But it's so good. It's so cute. Next book I gave 5 stars was The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand, and I loved this book. It was such a fun read. There were so many characters, so many different things going on, but it actually wasn't overwhelming though. Like, it wasn't like too much for me. Like, I feel like I actually understood like everyone. I mean, at certain parts I was a little like, who is that? But then I always like figured it out, and it was so good. Like, it was so cute. It's basically about this hotel that has been like kind of like abandoned for a while, but then this rich guy like buys it, and then he starts hiring people, and then this one girl is like becomes the manager, and she finds all these clients to work there, or employees to work there, and you get to kind of like see all their different lives and lots of like secrets and mystery type stuff. All the while there's the ghost that's like haunting the hotel, who like died in it a while ago, and it was so cute. I love this. There was lots of like romancy parts, just fun. It was very fun, and I loved it. And yeah, those are actually all of the 5-star books I read in 2023. How many were there? I think there's 17. So it was a good year of books. Let me know if you've ever read any of these. Let me know if you end up reading any of them, or if you want to read any of them. I highly recommend all of them. So yeah, and I feel like there's lots of different genres. So, you know, if you like fantasy, if you like romance, if you like mystery, I feel like I read a good variety of 5 stars. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like it was all over the place. I'm kind of dreading editing this because me trying to like explain those books was a struggle. Some of those earlier books, I forget what I was reading kind of. So it was a bit of a struggle for me to explain. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scouts.